Are you my old classmate Lin Xia? I just came out of the restroom in the park and just took a second look at the wedding ceremony on the lawn not far away, and someone stopped me from leaving. The other person was my college classmate with Gu Sun. I smiled and nodded and was about to leave, but he dragged me to a lively place with a malicious smile. Since you are here, have a glass of wedding wine before leaving. Besides, you and Mr. Gu loved each other vigorously back then. Now witnessing his happiness can be regarded as a perfect ending to your youth. In the blink of an eye, he pulled me to the engagement party, balloons and flowers, blessings and praises, set off Gu Sun and his white moonlight Jiang Qianqian more and more. The engagement party was very grand and luxurious, but I was wearing a helmet, covered with dust, and my face was also gray, which was out of place here, when a newly developed real estate near this park was laying the foundation. The ruins of the Shang dynasty were discovered. As an archaeologist, I have been working here for several days in a row. I just crawled out of the ancient tomb thousands of years ago and came here to use the bathroom. I just wanted to take a break and breathe the fresh air outdoors. I didn't expect to encounter Gu Sun's engagement party. The originally lively engagement party suddenly became quiet, and someone took the lead in mocking, "Hey, isn't this Lin Xia? What, regret it? I heard that you disappeared on the day when Mr. Gu and you got the marriage certificate. You abandoned the poor boy back then without saying a word. Do you know that you lost hundreds of millions?" Others followed suit. "That's right, Lin Xia, I advise you to have some backbone. Don't say you are here to ask for reconciliation. Today is the engagement party of Mr. Gu and the daughter of the Jiang family. Are you dressed like this to ruin the party?" Of course I know that Gu Sun is now very successful. He has launched a new artificial intelligence software that is famous all over the world. He has been on the front page of well-known financial headlines for several days. Anyone who is a little familiar with him wants to take advantage of his sudden wealth. I ignored other people's opinions, smiled and looked at Gu Sun, and said lightly, "Congratulations." Ever since Gu Sun saw me for the first time, his eyes were full of surprise and surprise. He had been silent, looking at me with burning eyes. At this time, he frowned. "Xia, are you following me on purpose? Did you see the location of my circle of friends, so you dress like this to make things difficult for me?" I looked at him puzzled. On the day after my rebirth, I deleted all the information related to him, changed my mobile phone number, stayed away from the circle related to him, immersed in my own world, and didn't know that today was his engagement party. Jiang Qianqian held Gu Sun's arm affectionately, half of her body leaning on Gu Sun's arms, her voice sweet. "Sun, we are all old classmates. Why are you so fierce?" As she said, she looked at me and covered her nose with disgust. The female classmates who were trying to please them were fanning the air in front of their noses, looking at them with disgust. "Is this also an occasion where she can come? A sour smell?" Jiang Qianqian smiled and instructed the assistant behind her. "Guests are guests. I still have two dresses that I don't like. Take Lin Xia to the tent next to her to change." Gu Sun looked at me displeased. "Xia, go change quickly. I am a respectable person now. If you were like this now, people will question my previous taste." "No need." I refused. I didn't plan to attend their engagement party, and I didn't plan to have any intersection with him in this life. With that, I turned around and left. My arm was suddenly pulled by someone. I turned my head and looked at Gu Sun in confusion. He grabbed my hand hard, with suppressed anger in his eyes. "Xia, it's enough to play the game of leaving without saying goodbye once. If you do it too many times, I will mistakenly think that you still can't let go of the past." The viciousness and jealousy in Jiang Qianqian's eyes flashed away. She thoughtfully pulled away Gu Sun's hand holding me, took the wet towel from the side, and gently helped Gu Sun wipe his hands. "Sun, maybe Xia really has work to do. Why do you embarrass her?" As she said, she looked at me with a smile. "Xia, I wonder where you are now." "A good job, Qianqian. You really know how to flatter her. Judging from her outfit, I think she is moving bricks at the construction site next door." Jiang Qianqian's words attracted loud laughter from the classmates next to her, and some of them laughed and covered their stomachs. I looked at the construction site, which contained national key cultural relics, and would soon be fully excavated by the team I led. I said calmly, "Yes, I was indeed at that construction site." "Enough," Gu Sun interrupted. "Xia, you disappoint me so much. How can you degenerate to such a level? You've been moving bricks on the construction site since you graduated from college." Someone pretended to whisper, but everyone present heard it clearly. I heard that the workers on the construction site would form temporary couples every day. TSK. Anyway, there are high walls blocking others from seeing, and they really play with flowers, really. Then I wonder how many husbands Lin Xia has, and she's a bride every night. I really didn't expect that she looked so pure in college, but it turns out that she has such strong desires, otherwise, why would she go to work in such a place, at this time? A male classmate suddenly came over in a frivolous manner and hugged my shoulders. Dear Shia, how about you and me in the future? You don't have to do anything every day, just wash my clothes, cook for me, and warm my bed. I'll give you 3,000 yuan a month. And I can satisfy you in any posture. Bang, the next second, the hand on my shoulder suddenly shrank back, and the male classmate covered his bleeding nose and cursed, "You fucking," when he saw that the person who hit him was Gu-sun. He swallowed the rest of the words and lowered his head and dared not say a word. Gu-sun's face was livid, and there was blood on his fist. He clenched his back teeth. Today is my engagement party. Don't go crazy here. Get out. The male classmate was quickly taken away from the grass by the security guard. The scene was instantly plunged into a weird atmosphere. Jiang Qianqian looked at me with more hatred in her eyes. Soon, she smiled and tried to smooth things over. Although we are all old classmates, we should be careful when joking. Sure, yeah, how about this? You go to my company to do cleaning in the future. My family is a listed company, and the working environment is much better than the construction site. You don't have to be exposed to the wind and sun in the future. I will give you a salary of 6,000 yuan a month. How about it? Do you think about it? A classmate whispered. Tisk, a slutty woman like her is not qualified to work in a listed company. Gu-sun's face was still ugly. He ordered the assistant behind him and pointed in my direction with his eyes. Take off her helmet and gloves for me. And change into a dress. Lin Xia must attend the engagement party today. From now on, she will work as a cleaner in Qianqian's company. Let go. I shouted loudly, but the two assistants seemed not to hear me. According to Gu-sun's instructions, they quickly tore off my helmet and a pair of wire gloves on my hands. When my hand was exposed, everyone's eyes widened. On the ring finger, there was a huge top-grade jade ring. Soon someone made a mockery. Oh, Lin Xia is quite discerning. She dared to buy a low imitation version of the ring that was sold for 200 million at the auction of the Prince of Nanchang. It's funny, do you think you can covet the prince? The classmates who didn't know all took a breath of cold air. What? The Prince of Nanchang? Is it the prince who is so handsome that everyone hates him, and is very loyal? Although the prince did not show up, many female classmates had blushed. If I can see the prince's style in this life, it's worth dying for. It is said that the prince is married, and he hides his wife very well. Lin Xia, I advise you not to dream. It's more realistic to move 2 more bricks. Gu-sun's face is uglier than before. Xia, open your QR code. I will transfer 100,000 to you. You go buy a gold ring to wear. It's better than wearing a plastic one, imitating others. As he said, Gu-sun opened his mobile phone, but I was indifferent. Just like in the last life, Gu-sun is always high above me and arranges my life in a strong way. But he doesn't know that in the last life, when I was in a car accident, I had completely given up on him. My love for him in the last life was real. And my giving up in this life is also real. Jiang Qianqian laughed out loud. Xia refused to open her phone. What's wrong? Do you think 100,000 is too little? Then, how much is the plastic ring on your hand worth? Her words once again drew everyone's laughter. She doesn't know what's good for her. She doesn't want to give face, Mr. Gu doesn't want to embarrass her ex like her. She gave her some benefits, but she was still hypocritical. 100,000 is too little. It's really easy to make unexpected money as long as you are thick-skinned enough. Gu-sun was already impatient. He reached out to take my phone. I hurriedly stepped back 2 steps and looked at him calmly. That's right, Mr. Gu. I'm married. You are right. I married the Prince of Nanchang. Since today is an accidental encounter, I also send my blessings. Give me back my helmet and gloves, and I won't bother you anymore. As soon as I finished speaking, a slap fell hard on my face. Lin Xia, I have been patient with you to the limit. What do you mean? Jiang Qianqian stared at me with red eyes. Half of my face was numb. She hit me so hard that her hands were shaking slightly. Everyone looked mocking, as if they were watching a good show. Jiang Qianqian said viciously, Lin Xia, I didn't expect you to be so vicious. You deliberately want to ruin my Aunt Axon's engagement party today, right? The smell of blood spread in my mouth. I covered my face and looked at her coldly. Jiang Qianqian, explain it to me clearly, otherwise, I will do as you wish today and ruin your engagement party. Jiang Qianqian fell into Gu-sun's arms, tears falling down. Sun, she deliberately dressed like this and followed you to our engagement party to cause trouble. She deliberately seduced you to transfer 100,000 yuan to her. Why is it so easy for her to make money? You say, she is a migrant worker. How could the prince fall in love with her? She dared to claim to be the prince's wife by wearing the same plastic ring, and she also came to our engagement party to make such a scene. Our Jiang family and the prince's family are old friends. If this matter gets out, it will damage their reputation and our Jiang family will go bankrupt tomorrow. After saying that, Jiang Qianqian sobbed in grievance. Gu Sun patted her back and coaxed her softly, and when he looked at me again, his eyes were full of disgust. Lin Xia, I am extremely disappointed in you. You can pretend to be someone else, but you dare to pretend to be the prince's wife. Do you think the 100,000 yuan I gave you is too little and want more? I am now a community of interests with the Jiang family. If you harm the Jiang family, you are harming me. Do you want to retaliate against me? Tell me. I looked at the strange face and said coldly, apologize. Gu Sun laughed instead of getting angry. I really misjudged you. I actually dated a fool like you for 4 years. Jiang Qianqian in his arms smiled at me and continued to wipe her tears. Gu Sun called out to the security guards around him, please get this crazy woman out and teach her a lesson. Before the security guards responded, the old classmates came forward one after another. Boss Gu, our chance to serve you has come, don't let it go to others. In just a moment, everyone rushed up and started punching and kicking me. Dead woman, cheap gold digger. Even 100,000 can't satisfy you, and you want to tarnish the prince's reputation and make more money. Today, I'll let you taste what it's like to be a gold digger. Fists fell all over my body like raindrops. They beat me and spit on me. I was forced to hold my head and endure their malice. Outside the crowd, Gu Sun held Jiang Qianqian and watched the scene coldly. They didn't stop until I collapsed on the ground, blood gushing out between my legs. Gu Sun was so nervous that his voice trembled. And he screamed desperately, quick, call an ambulance. The next second, a tall figure came over like a gust of wind, picked me up with force, and strode towards the car not far away. There, dozens of bodyguards stood in a neat row, waiting respectfully. I looked at my husband's familiar face, finally put my heart at ease, and soon fainted. Before losing consciousness, I only heard him say to everyone present, if Shurye gets into trouble, I want all of you to be buried with her. When I woke up, I saw a pair of bloodshot eyes. Husband, I called him out, and my hoarse voice scared me. Ling Yu's expression obviously changed from nervousness to relief, and he still held my right hand tightly in his palm. He said softly, with a face full of self-blame, how do you feel now, wife? I'm sorry. I came too late and made you suffer so much. I was so weak. Hubby, don't blame yourself. You came just in time. It was those people who went too far. How long have I been unconscious? There was a hint of ruthlessness in his eyes, and he finally told me the truth. I was just 1 month pregnant, but I was beaten to miscarriage by those people. I was unconscious for a whole day and had an abortion. Shurye, as long as you speak, I will immediately make everyone present that day disappear from this world. Revenge for you and our unborn child. I stared at the ceiling blankly. I didn't expect that when I found out that I was pregnant in this life, the child was gone, and it was all because of Gu Sun. I shook my head gently. Hubby, this is too easy for them. At this moment, Ling Yu's phone rang, and he seemed not to hear it. I motioned for him to answer the phone, and he frowned and answered it. The moment the call was connected, a woman's cry came from the inside. It was Jiang Qianqian. Mr. Ling, I'm sorry. I kneel down to apologize to you. Please don't put the blame on our Jiang family. Those who assaulted Xia that day were all my old classmates. I have sent all of them to prison. I just accidentally slapped Xia. Mr. Ling, how about this? You find someone to come and slap me 10 times. Please don't destroy our Jiang's enterprise. Jiang Qianqian burst into tears again. Ling Yu showed serious disdain and ridicule. Destroying your Jiang's company won't bring back my child. You brainless people should go to hell to relieve my hatred, he said calmly. But we have known each other for several years. I know that Ling Yu is on the verge of a rage. Jiang Qianqian's collapse and crying came from the phone, and she continued to beg, Mr. Ling, my grandfather saved your grandfather's life back then. Can't you let our family go this time for the sake of our friendship? Ling Yu sneered. Don't use the affairs of the older generation to pressure me. My grandfather will pay you back what he owes. The grudge between you and me has nothing to do with them. After saying that, Ling Yu's patience was exhausted and he hung up the phone directly. But just as he hung up the phone rang again. Ling Yu hesitated for 3 seconds and picked it up. Grandpa, the old man's voice came from inside. If I hadn't been rescued by the Jiang family, there would be no wealth and status for our Ling family today. This matter is just to give Grandpa face. Forget it. From today on, Grandpa owes Shurye a favor. Grandpa will agree to whatever she wants. Ling Yu sneered. She wants the baby in her belly to be safe. Can you do it, Grandpa? That's your great-grandson. And now he's gone? Both sides fell into a brief silence. Finally, the old man sighed. Grandpa knows your temper, can you beg me? I signaled Lingyu with my eyes, after all. Our marriage was also brought together by the old man. Lingyu said impatiently, Grandpa, just because Shurya is generous enough to let the Jiang family go doesn't mean I will be soft-hearted, wife. We are in tune with each other. No matter what happens in this life, I will be by your side. I promise that I will never let you suffer any grievances again. I nodded vigorously, and my eyes were reluctant to move away from his handsome face. Lingyu is the dream lover of many women, but I know that his deep affection is only for me. He fed me water with a gentle voice. Wife, the doctor said you need to rest more. I am not worried that you have woken up. You should rest well. When you recover, we will act according to the plan. Don't worry about your work. I have arranged it. The most important thing now is to take good care of your body. Many people want to see you, but I refused. You just need to rest now. As for having children in the future, I interrupted him hurriedly. Husband, I want to have at least 2 children. More children will make the family lively. Okay. Lingyu finally smiled. At this moment, someone knocked on the door of the ward. Boss Ling. Boss Gu has been kneeling at the door for 3 hours. He must see the lady. Lingyu's expression was gloomy again. I gently stroked his hand. Ask him in. I have something to talk to him about. Lingyu was very unhappy. I comforted him again. Don't worry. I won't be soft-hearted. When Lingyu opened the door and went out, Gu Sun was kneeling straight. Lingyu went up and kicked Gu Sun directly. Gu Sun couldn't bear the force and fell to the ground. Blood immediately flowed from his forehead. But he didn't say a word and continued to get up and kneel. Go in. Shurya is willing to see you, but you have to be careful. Some things that shouldn't be said are better kept in your stomach. Gu Sun knelt like this, step by step, kneeling in front of my bed. And the door of the ward was closed from the outside. The Gu Sun in front of me was not as energetic as he was on the day of the engagement banquet. He seemed to have aged 10 years overnight, and he was haggard and embarrassed. Seeing my weakness, Gu Sun's eyes were actually filled with tears. Shurya, I'm sorry. I didn't expect them to be so cruel. I couldn't help but sneer. Gu Sun. Gu Sun, after living a new life, he is still the one who refuses to take responsibility. That day, they attacked me to please him. With just one word from him, such a violent conflict could have been avoided, but he just hugged Jiang Qianqian and watched me being beaten unconscious by them. Now, he pushed the responsibility onto those people and cleared himself of all responsibility. Gu Sun, why are you looking for me now? Gu Sun sniffed. Shurya, do we still have a chance? The one who should get the marriage certificate with you should be me. Me, why did you leave without saying goodbye? That day, did Lingyu cheat you away? You have been married to him for so many years, but he refused to give you even a name. Shut up. I interrupted him fiercely. Gu Sun, 6 times? What 6 times? His eyes were full of confusion. Gu Sun and I fell in love in college and got married directly after graduation. He said his dream was to become an online game designer. For his dream, I was willing to give up my love for archaeology and become an office worker, working from dawn to dusk every day to make money for the whole family and support his dream. But year after year, his career did not improve at all. I just kindly mentioned it. Son, why don't you find a class to attend? This will also reduce some pressure and anxiety. The next second, he threw the keyboard and yelled at me. What do you know? Am I not considering our future? What future can ordinary people like us have with the little money we earn from work? He said that we did not have a solid economic foundation, and children were born to suffer. In this life, he only wanted to be with me every day and live a life of 2 people. So, in 10 years, I had 5 abortions and my health was getting worse and worse. But on the 10th anniversary of my wedding, I received an anonymous invitation letter to a birthday party of a 7-year-old boy. On both sides of the boy stood his father and mother, Gu Sun and Jiang Qianqian. I stepped on the accelerator like crazy. I wanted to ask Gu Sun why he trampled on my 10 years of hard work and why he had already established a new family with his white moonlight, but he still refused to tell me the truth, because I was driving too fast. I collided with a large truck that was skidding in the opposite direction before I lost consciousness. The phone I dialed was filled with laughter from the birthday party and the conversation between Gu Sun and Jiang Qianqian. Qianqian, of course I want to have a child with a high-quality gene like you. As for Lin Xia, she can just be my nanny for the rest of my life. Jiang Qianqian smiled. Tell me, if Lin Xia knew the truth, what would her reaction be? The phone slipped from my hand and I soon lost my breath. So, on the day after my rebirth, although it was the day to get the marriage certificate with Gu Sun, I chose to call my mentor. I am willing to continue to shine for the cause of archaeology. Soon, I disappeared from Gu Sun's world. Unexpectedly, he hooked up with Jiang Qianqian so quickly in this life, as he expected. It really helped his career a lot. I had 5 abortions in my last life, and 6 in this life. Goosen didn't understand these at all. He hurried to grab my hand. Sure, yeah, can we get back together? Jiang Qianqian and I were together because she seduced me. I still love you in my heart. I shook his hand off fiercely. Goosen, I am married to Ling Yu now. We are legal husband and wife. Is there any point in you telling me these things? Goosen sneered. Do you think he really loves you? He just loves your identity. Their Ling family is the richest in the local area. Ling Yu has countless women around him. He has all kinds of women he wants. Why does he put all his thoughts on you? Sure, yeah. We have been together for 4 years in college. We know each other very well. I am sincere to you. I will not give up our relationship. I will wait for you to divorce. In my last life, I loved him so much, but he ruined my life. Now I am reborn again. God blesses me. I have my own happy family. How can I be so stupid again? I looked at him sarcastically. Why don't you tell me why my husband likes me? Goosen stood up from the ground, sat on the chair next to him, and turned on his mobile phone to show me. Sure, yeah, you might as well take a look at this. After the miscarriage, the doctor told me to follow the confinement period, look at the phone less, and rest more. So I didn't read the news on my phone at all. At this time, Goosen took it over, and after I clicked it, I couldn't help but widen my eyes in shock. Ling Yu published our information and my identity online. He personally posted on Weibo to confirm the fact that we had been married for 3 years, and between us, he was the one who pursued me. Everyone, look carefully. This is my wife Lin Xia, the woman I hold in my heart. Anyone who messes with her is messing with me. As for whether you can bear the consequences, some people weigh it themselves. This is a sentence posted by Ling Yu on the internet, which attracted a large number of blessings and envy from netizens. They all envy me for finding a rich, handsome and loving husband, saying that I saved the Milky Way in my previous life. In fact, they don't know that in my previous life, I was a stupid woman who was delayed by a scumbag and died tragically. In this life, I will cherish my happiness. My eyes were hot with emotion. I didn't want to say another word and ordered Goosen to leave. The relationship between us husband and wife does not need outsiders to interfere. As for the reunion you mentioned, Goosen, just give up on this idea. Goosen stood up and said anxiously, Xia, don't be fooled by him anymore. Many of the Ling family's businesses cannot withstand scrutiny, so he needs a woman with a clean identity and reputation to help him clean up. It just so happens that you are now a member of the state, a famous young archaeologist. With this, the Ling family has gained a lot of benefits. I suppressed the anger in my heart. Goosen, you are asking for reconciliation now. Isn't that the same idea? Now that you know my identity, you would rather kneel for a few hours to implement a self-torture trick, thinking that I will be soft-hearted. You said in person that you regretted dating me for 4 years, being poked by me. Goosen turned his eyes away, and soon he turned to look at me again. Xia, I was angry and made a slip of the tongue that day. Jiang Qianqian deliberately misled me that day. If I didn't care about you, how could I have dated you sincerely for 4 years? I will never be with Jiang Qianqian again. Xia, the engagement party that day didn't continue. I heard that after Ling Yu carried me into the car that day, a heavy rainstorm immediately fell. Goosen and Jiang Qianqian's engagement party was ruined at that time, and everyone present left in a hurry. I didn't say another word and raised my hand to ring the bedside bell. In this life, my intersection with them is nothing but revenge. The bodyguard quickly came in and drove Goosen out. He yelled at me before leaving. Xia, you must think carefully about what I said. The door was closed, and I finally had a moment of peace. My mind is now full of the words Ling Yu posted online, and I have never felt happier. It turns out that being loved feels like this. I stayed in the hospital for 2 days, and my body had almost recovered. I insisted on being discharged, but Ling Yu insisted that I stay a few more days so that he could rest assured. On the day I was discharged, my phone rang. I clicked on it and saw a pop-up message. It was unexpected, but reasonable. It was from Goosen. He and Jiang Qianqian made up for an engagement banquet, which was held at the Grand Hyatt Hotel 3 months later, and specially invited me and Ling Yu to attend. I would not miss such a good opportunity to watch a play. On the day of the engagement banquet, Ling Yu and I arrived as scheduled. Goosen and Jiang Qianqian, the protagonists, were originally ignored. Everyone surrounded Ling Yu and me, and kept complimenting and flattering us, compared with Goosen's rising star in the business world. The huge business empire of the Ling family is what everyone wants to cling to. Ling Yu has been holding my hand tightly. He has always been lukewarm about these compliments, and he whispered in my ear from time to time, "Wife, when the show is over, I will take you away from here. I am not used to being surrounded by these people who are full of money. I am still attracted by those antique copper coins and copperware. Ling Yu and I can get together because we have a common interest in archaeology, but his main job is the president of Ling Group. And archaeology can only be a hobby. Ling Yu's mind was on me throughout the whole process. He took care of my food and drink. Everyone present cast envious eyes. Only the eyes not far away were filled with hatred and unwillingness. I looked over and it was Gu Sun. He was the protagonist today, but no one cared about him. Everyone knew that he had offended Ling Yu and me at the beginning. Today, so many prominent people came to his engagement banquet, all thanks to Ling Yu's face. Gu Sun was still dressed handsomely, and Jiang Qianqian was also dressed in a dazzling outfit. The two of them stood together and looked very well matched. Jiang Qianqian walked through the thick wall of people, walked in front of me, and pulled up my right hand without saying anything, and slammed it hard on her face. She was doing this while she was crying. Xia, for the sake of our old classmate, can you forgive my mistakes and ignorance? With such superb acting skills, it would be a pity if she didn't become an actress. Jiang Qianqian was crying like a pear blossom in the rain. As if I was being unreasonable, I had withdrawn my hand a long time ago and smiled. How could it be, if you hadn't said it? I would have forgotten the conflict between us. Today is your big day. Congratulations. Seeing me say this, Jiang Qianqian's eyes flashed with a hint of pride. She knew that her grandfather's status was there, and I would never do anything to her. After a short episode, the engagement banquet went on according to the process, and it was time for the newlyweds to speak. Gu Sun looked at Jiang Qianqian affectionately. Qianqian, I have a special gift for you today. I hope you like it. Jiang Qianqian blushed and said shyly, hubby, I'll like whatever you give me. Gu Sun instructed the assistant behind him, who quickly paused the photos of the newlyweds that were scrolling on the big screen. When the new content started playing, Jiang Qianqian let out a shrill scream the next second. Gu Sun, what do you mean? As she said that, Jiang Qianqian was about to rush over to stop the assistant, but she was quickly controlled by Gu Sun. The faces of the Jiang family members present changed, and there was a commotion at the scene. The Jiang family and the Gu family quickly got into a fight, but all the guests seemed to have nothing to do with them, drinking red wine and enjoying this farce. The video showed the Jiang family stealing confidential information from Gu Sun's company, even if the two families were interested in marriage and would soon become a community of interests. They each had their own ulterior motives and wanted to kill each other. After all, they had offended Ling Yu together at the last engagement banquet on the grass. The decision that Ling Yu and I made that day was to plant spies in each of them. It was not until last night that the spy told Gu Sun about the actions of the Jiang family, and the actions of the Jiang family were also arranged by the spy. At this time, Gu Sun, standing on the stage, could not help but sneer. Jiang Qianqian, you want to swallow up my hard work for so many years in the name of marriage, right? Jiang Qianqian did not pretend anymore. She shook off Gu Sun's control fiercely. Gu Sun, how much money has our Jiang family invested in you over the years? I have spent so many years of my youth on you, but you are guarding against me like a thief. Gu Sun, how sincere do you think you are in marrying me? The person you can't forget until now is Lin Xia. After this sentence, the whole audience was silent. Everyone wanted to cast gossipy eyes, but no one dared to because Ling Yu was there. Ling Yu's face had already darkened. He stood up to leave, and I held him back. The show is not over yet. What's the hurry? What? Ling Yu's eyes were filled with strong possessiveness. He still longs for you, not to mention longing for you. He can't even look at you. Ling Yu pulled me up and left without saying anything. As soon as I reached the gate, Gu Sun shouted at me through the crowd, Shirya, I will always wait for you to come back to me again. If you don't forgive me, I will be single for the rest of my life. This time, everyone's eyes were on me and him. I smiled and looked at Gu Sun. You're right. You will be single for the rest of your life? Gu Sun, why don't you take a look at what's happening in your company now? At this moment, his cell phone rang, and when he answered the call, his face turned pale instantly. That day he said that Ling Yu's family's business was not clean, but the real dirty one was him, which was also discovered by the spy. At this time, the public security was investigating and liquidating his company, and the tax bureau was investigating Zhang's business. Both sides were in dire straits. Gu Sun hurriedly took his assistant to leave, and before leaving, he did not forget to confess to me again, Shirya, losing you is my biggest loss. I smiled and handed him a document. Take a look. After reading it, you can let go of everything. Gu Sun took it hesitantly, and the next second, he spit out a mouthful of blood and fell to the ground. The document clearly showed that Gu Sun had advanced liver cancer. When my spy first entered his company, he had just had a physical examination, and his physical examination results were hidden. He quickly ignored the matter. Today, he saw the report, but missed the best treatment period. Gu-sun was helped up by his assistant, but his legs were shaking so much that he couldn't stand steadily. Shurya, how did you get my physical examination report? Ling Yu had no patience to wait for me to give him an answer, and he pulled me into the car. The Jiang family was ruined overnight. The ill-gotten gains were confiscated, and the relevant personnel were sent to prison. Jiang Qianqian fell from a rich girl who was high above everyone else to a poor person with hundreds of millions of debts. Everyone she knew stayed away from her. Soon, she couldn't bear the blow and became mentally ill and was sent to a mental hospital. Gu-sun's company also declared bankruptcy overnight, and he was admitted to the hospital, and he couldn't even pay the medical expenses. Before he died, he called me. His voice was so weak that it was almost inaudible. Shurya, in the last life, you loved me so much and gave so much for me, but I didn't know how to cherish you. You should hate me in this life. In the next life, we will have many, many children, and I will never let go of your hand again. I just came out of the bathroom in the park, and just took a second look at the wedding on the lawn not far away, and was blocked by someone, my friend. I said calmly, Gu-sun, if there is a next life, I will not have any intersection with you. After that, I hung up the phone. At this time, I was also in the hospital. At the end of the corridor, a tall figure came over. It was Ling Yu. He quickly came to me and held me tightly in his arms. His body couldn't help but tremble slightly. I asked cautiously, what happened? Ling Yu couldn't help kissing me until I could hardly breathe, and then he smiled and said, wife, the blood test results are out, and we have welcomed our baby again. My eyes were a little wet. The sun outside was just right, shining on Ling Yu and me, and our tightly held hands. We will welcome a new life and a better future.